Hallo miteinander, I'm Geshady6, and we're once again doing a Let's Play of one of my childhood games. This game is based on a movie. It is a very renowned, very popular movie that really revolutionized the way animation worked back then. It is Toy Story, of course. And yes, Toy Story did have a game back then. Does it live up to the movie? Did it revolutionize gaming? Nah, of course it didn't. But we're gonna take a good look at it anyway. First, let's go over the option menu. We have a few options. For example, the controls, they're already the way we want them to be, so no use in changing that. We're gonna play on the sheriff difficulty, which is a medium difficulty. And we're gonna leave the story on, of course. I mean, come on. What kind of LP would that be if we skip the story? So, let's get that snake out of our boots and start this. But not without ruining the title screen. So, this game really tries to follow the movie. However, since it is basically an action game, that is not always easy. I mean, if you look at Toy Story, it's not something that you can easily turn into a game. It's got a lot of funny scenes, but also a lot of very slow scenes, I mean. But we'll see how it turns out. The first level is based on a very early scene where Woody actually didn't do a whole lot, but still, we have to play as him. We pretty much always have to play as Woody. He is the main character, no question, of this game. The controls for this game are relatively simple. Woody can only do a couple of things. He can run around, he can jump, he can also duck, and most of all he can use his pull string as a weapon. Now that pull string is more of a defensive weapon. It can sometimes stun enemies, sometimes just kick them away. Depends on the type of enemy. So, in this level we have 3 objectives. We can't just go to the end, we have to do a little bit of stuff. And the first objective we've already completed. We've opened up the lid of the bucket of soldiers so that they can get out. Next thing we have to do is go to the little walkie-talkie on the top here. Just use our pull string on it and we hand it to the little soldiers. Now all we have to do is go to the other baby phone on the very right edge of the map. And then we'll be done. However, we don't want to end the level just yet. In Toy Story you can collect 50 stars in each level, and doing so nets you an extra life at the end. If you get less stars than the maximum, you will likely get other prizes like health refills. However, we want the extra lives for now, because we're gonna need them for this game. Believe me, this game, it is not a gentle game. It will kick your butt sooner than you think. So, let's go over our HUD for a change. On the very top left we've got the Etch-a-Sketch telling us where to go. It's not active for all levels, but it is for this one. Next to it we have a star counter. That is our hit points. The maximum is 5, and if it hits 0 we lose a life, obviously. And on the top right we have our lives counter. The default lives per continue depend on the difficulty that you chose. As far as I know, that's the only thing that difficulty does in this game, but it is enough. Look at that soldier, poor guy. At least the evil helicopter will pick him up. No, I really took a lot of damage here. You remember that time in the movie when Woody was assaulted by killer locomotives and airplanes? No? Well, at least you saw the movie then, because it didn't happen. No, it really didn't. Okay, get a little bit more stars over here. Touch the baby phone and we're done. That was the first level, a very simple level, but can get a bit tricky if you spend too much time in it. The next level is gonna be changing things up a lot. It happens to be about a scene that is roughly only 5 seconds long in the movie. You know, when Andy got all his presents, just got Buzz Lightyear, he rushed upstairs and the toys were of course all over the room, so they had to go back to their original positions. Now, this happened really quick in the movie, as I've said, but not in this game. In this game, it's a little bit more complicated. Enter a puzzle level, red alert. Now, this level, there is nothing to hurt you in this level. No enemies, no nothing. However, it is a timed level, and if that time runs out, we lose a life. Because Andy will spot us, and he will think that we are possessed toys made by Satan, and he will call an exorcist to burn us. Actually, he won't, but he might. That would be an interesting alternative to Toy Story. What would the sequels be like? Toy Story 2, The Heretic. But this level is about getting all the toys to their correct places in time, and then at the end of it, getting Woody onto the bed. Now, to do this, you have to do a couple of things, but for now we will only just ignore these toys and get all the stars. Why do we do that? Because if you free up some of these toys, you have to destroy barricades. But these barricades are also platforms, so if you free the toys too early, you won't be able to get all the stars. So that's what we did first. We've gotten all the stars, and now we can take care of the toys. Rocky the Muscle Man will be freed on the right side, that way he will shove a bucket out of RC Car's way. And that's pretty much 2 birds for 1 stone then. Now the rest of the toys, they have to go to the very left where there's this toy box. Now, at the beginning of the level, the game gave you a little bit of an example, where Woody catapulted Mr. Potato Head into the box, and that's what you pretty much have to do. Interesting way of giving a tutorial. However, it is not an easy task, because some of these toys are very confused. Not so much Ham, he is a very compliant fella, and he will just sit on the balloon. However, Robot is very quick, you need some good timing to get him in there. I really wonder why they don't want to get in there. I mean, don't they want to remain secret? Well, apparently all the toys in Toy Story are complete morons, especially in this game. And well, Woody is their mom. Yeah, only sensible toy in the box. So, we've gotten all the toys in now. All that's left to do is getting Woody on the bed. And shouldn't be too hard, since we still got a lot of time left. If you don't get all the stars, this level is very easy to complete, because you just have so much time. When you do get all the stars, you have a lot of less time, but if you don't mess up too badly, you should still do it okay. So this is the part of the movie where, as you can see, Buzz is finally introduced. He is kind of the second lead of Toy Story, as you might know. However, he is, I think except for one time, not a playable character in this game. However, he still has a lot of presence in the game overall. The game does some very clever things with him, I have to admit. Next level is called Ego Check, and it's not like that in the movie. It's gonna be a race to prove who is better, Woody or Buzz. I really don't blame them for changing this up a bit. I mean, a deadly gauntlet with sharks, pits and clowns is much better than a diplomatic level, isn't it? Now I have to admit I really like this level. It's a very fun level, probably my favorite in the game. That's because of a few things. It's got a good pace, it's not too difficult and very straightforward, and just got a nice flow. Not only that, but it introduces a very important mechanic in the game, and that is swinging on hooks. Now, it's good that the game teaches you this now, instead of later where you really need it. It's not the last you'll see of it. And it is not easy swinging on these hooks. The game wants you to be very exact in how you hit them. Only if the very tip of your pull string touches them will you actually be able to swing. Another thing I like about this level are these funny skits that Buzz does, like his Egyptian dance and where he just sits in the air. It's just pretty cool, pretty funny. This level also introduces checkpoints. Now, with checkpoints, this game is very lenient in how it handles them. Longer levels have many checkpoints, shorter ones have fewer, if any at all. You never feel like a level has too few checkpoints, but still you shouldn't die after every checkpoint, even if it only sets you back a little. Speaking of dying, one of the most annoying things about this game is how regenerating health works. And because of this annoyance, is pretty much the reason why I died just there. Not because I fell into a pit, because these pits are actually not instant death pits. They only hurt you, but I was on my last hit. Why was I on my last hit? Because this game is extremely stingy with when it gives out health pickups. You will only find very few of them in the levels, and you can regenerate health after levels, but only if you have the exact right amount of stars, and that is less than 50. Slightly less than 50. It sometimes just gives you the feeling that the game is expecting you to die after a while, and I think that's pretty mean. I mean, who does the game think it is? Goldfinger? Definitely not. So, we're nearing the end of this level. Only a few more swings. Yeah, only one more swing and we're done. Once again, we've gotten all of the stars and get an extra life. But the game might have fluked you out with this level a little bit, like it's a race and that it's timed. Nope, it is not timed. The outcome is predetermined. Buzz pretty much ridicules Woody, and all the toys now think that Buzz can fly and that he's just overall amazing. Because they've got plastic in their brains. So at this point in the movie, you would have this little montage scene with the song Strange Things playing. And Woody would be all jealous and neglected, and Buzz would get all the hype. You might be wondering, how do you put that into a video game level? I don't think you can, so the developers didn't really try. Instead, we get a random boss fight against Nightmare Buzz. Sounds pretty scary, doesn't it? Well, guess what? We are now trapped in a lethal dream. Yes, this has just turned into a horror game. Kind of. Very underwhelming horror game. But yeah, we are facing Buzz Kruger, I guess. He has got a fire shield that we need to destroy first. And when we've done so, we can hit him while he's fiddling around with his control panel on his arm. It is a very easy boss with a very simple attack. Very easy to dodge by just ducking or jumping. And yeah, he's destroyed very easily. I will drop a lot of stars that I have no idea how to get all of them, because they immediately dissolve. But yeah, this was the first set of levels in Toy Story. I guess we will stop here. I'm Gesh86. This was, well, Toy Story. And next time, we will bring our vengeance upon Buzz. Oh yes, we're gonna have a very good time. And he won't. Bis bald!